Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Hidell, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And I'm here going over This Week in Astrology for October 11th, 2021, going all the way into the next week of October 18th, 2021. Sorry for the absence. I am recording this video on YouTube only. I haven't gotten quite yet ready to do the lives that I usually do on Monday nights on Facebook and Instagram. But I'm going to explain that in a little bit and give you guys a status update on what's been going on with my life. And also I'm going to be covering This Week in Astrology and kind of doing a little review of October because I've missed the last few weeks and I just want to kind of review with you guys what is going on in the astrological energy and the community. If you are watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and post below and comment your astrological sign and where you're even viewing from if you feel comfortable with that. But I would love for you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Gretchen Hidell on YouTube, and that way you'll get these, and if you hit that little bell notification you'll get these updates, and that way you know. And I'm going to be continuing to do these in this format for the time being because of what is going on in my life. So let's just get rolling with that. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. In September, a few weeks ago, gosh, I guess it's almost coming up to being 3 weeks now, I actually fell down the stairs at my house and I sustained a lot of injuries. I'm looking okay from here up, but from my waist down, it's not quite as fun. What happened is I severely sprained grade 3 sprain and grade 2 sprain. Grade 3 is the worst, in my left and right foot. And then my right knee is broken in 2 spots. So I have been pretty incapacitated. I haven't really felt up to recording any videos, doing the lives or otherwise. I'm adjusting my necklace here. And it's because I've been having trouble walking, and even sitting in this chair is quite uncomfortable. So I have to kind of use my energy wisely because I don't have much energy these days. I have to kind of lay down a lot and rest a lot, and that's just part of the healing process. So if you guys watched my last video, that was actually the night before the accident or the fall. I was out of my body, and I've talked about this on my videos many times, and I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit as I go through and heal. But I know that you guys have, some of you have medical conditions or things that you're healing from in your life. But I will say this, I was out of my body that night, and the night before and the day of, the sun was opposing Neptune, which for me can make me very spacey. I even talked about it in that video. It makes me very spacey. I have a Pisces moon. Sometimes it kind of lifts me out. Neptune is nebulous Neptune, right? So sometimes Neptune kind of lifts us out of our body. And especially when I'm doing readings a lot. I love doing readings. Readings are a passion of mine, and I love all of this esoteric conversations and topics and metaphysical discussions. I love doing this and I love talking about it, but the downside of it is sometimes I get ungrounded, and I was certainly ungrounded that night, which led me to be grounded as I fell to the ground. But it was something that can happen when you're traveling too much out of your body and you're sort of doing that kind of thing. And I tend to be prone towards that, which is what makes me good at what I do, as a job, but not necessarily in life, keeping me grounded in my physical. And so I knew I was ungrounded, and I still had life things to do. I was I was trying to rush to get to the veterinarian get medicine for my dog, and I had a lot of sessions that day. I didn't take a time to properly ground and close out myself, because I do have a closing out process I do when I go from doing readings into going into my normal daily life, where I kind of close myself down. Walking around as an open empath all the time is not actually good for you. And I get people all the time that they'll text me these off the collar sort of hey, do you think my boyfriend's going to break up with me? Or, hey, do you think I should go over here for a job? Like, and I don't think people really realize how I have to travel out to get that information. And when I'm constantly dipping out, sometimes I'll tell people I'm taking intuitive rest, which means that I'm spending some time in my body as Gretchen, you know? And so it's important if any of you do this type of work, or if you're HSPs, highly sensitive persons, or if you're naturally empathic, and if you go outside of your body, or if if you tend to be prone to being ungrounded, it's so important to ground oneself and to get back into your physical body and do those types of things. Breathing, yoga exercises, taking a little bit of a rest, being outside in nature, getting your feet into the ground, all of that is really good grounding stuff. I always wear my stones and my grounding tools, but even that, for me, that particular night was not enough to help me to stay in my body. And so it's just something to remember, because our physical body is so very important, and it's wonderful, a blessing to have these gifts. But also it's mindful for myself, but I thought maybe you guys might enjoy hearing a little reminder of that for yourselves, because we can get ungrounded if we lose contact with our physical, and that's where illness can manifest too, so we have to be careful of that. So if you're really busy at work and you're tending to the needs of others constantly in your life, you might have to kind of look and get some more physical practices that you can get back into your body. So good reminder for myself, but I also thought I'd mention that also on my broadcast. So this week in astrology is pretty good. This week, or this month, I should say, in October 2021, we're going to have a lot of planets starting to change direction. So I'm going to go through the month with you guys, and sometimes people like to take notes just so that you remember what's going on. But basically, last week during that big new moon in Libra on October 6th, the same day Pluto went direct. So Pluto always goes direct in the fall. Have you guys ever heard me explain this? Pluto spends half of, because Pluto in Greek mythology was Hades. So Hades spent half the life underground and punished, beneath the ground, and then half the time walking the earth. Well, when he walks the earth, okay, so to speak, he walks the earth, that's fall and winter, and that's when everything starts dying, so that's when Pluto is unleashed onto the planet. So that's the mythology behind Pluto turning direct. So Pluto turns direct every year in the fall, and that's when all the leaves start to fall from the trees and the plants start dying and everything starts to kind of wither away, and that's why is because Pluto's direct, according to mythology. So that's happening, and that's in Capricorn, so that's good. And I'm going to go over what direct means, so hang in there, but I'm going to go over the dates. So that was October 6th on Wednesday, the same day as the new moon in Libra. Then on Sunday the 10th, Saturn in Aquarius is turning direct. Okay, so Saturn, Big Daddy Saturn, life lessons and obstacles and all that, he's no longer retrograde, so he's going to be going direct. Then on the 18th, which is next Monday night, not only does Mercury turn direct, yay, that means Mercury retrograde is going to be over soon. Also, Jupiter is turning direct in the astrological sign of Aquarius. So Saturn and Jupiter are in Aquarius, and they're both turning direct. Then we do have the full moon on the 20th coming, and that's going to be in the astrological sign of Aries, because that's taking place during Libra season. So whenever whatever the sign the sun is in during that month, the full moon is in the opposite sign. So Libra and Aries are opposite of each other, and that's going to be happening on October 20th. So those are sort of the big dates coming up of different sort of planets turning direction and changing direction. So that's going to be Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter and Mercury. So 3 of them are the big outer planets, and then Mercury is more of our personal planet, which is why Mercury we feel more strongly. And that's in the astrological sign of Libra. Right about now, at the time of this broadcast, we're about halfway through Mercury retrograde. It's about 3 weeks, 3 times a year. And so we're almost halfway through, a little bit more than that. We only have 1 week left to go. Yay. And so I don't know how Mercury retrograde for you guys have been. Comment in the section below. I'd love to hear how your Mercury retrograde is going. But basically, Mercury retrograde is still active. It's in Libra. Libra is the sign that rules over relationships and partnerships and collaboration and getting together and all those types of things. It depends on where Libra is located within your astrological chart in order to know how that will affect you on a personal level, meaning what house is Libra in. But in general, Libra is all about collaboration. It is an air sign. We are in Libra season right now. The sun's in Libra, and then Mercury's in Libra as well. So we have that Libra energy, and it's just the time of year. Now on Wednesday, on October 13th, we're going to have Venus is going to form a sextile with Saturn. Whenever Venus and Saturn get together, I always talk about this. It can be a little bit of a Debbie Downer in the romantic / financial department. Now, people say to me all the time, but Gretchen, you said it's sextile, and sextiles in astrology are a good thing. And that is true. Usually it is said in astrology that sextiles bring opportunity that takes some effort on your part in order to see the result. However, whenever the two, you got to always look at the two planets, and they are sextile, so that's a good thing. I mean, that means they're getting along well and whatever. But Venus being sextile with Saturn in Aquarius, which by then will be direct on Wednesday, those two can be also Debbie Downer when it comes to romantic relationships. Like sometimes people, they won't hear from their partnerships very much, or hear from their boyfriend or girlfriend that they're dating, or they might feel a little lonely or a little cut off from their relationship in their life. And so that's something that basically will be happening around that time. It's actually usually a better time to kind of work on oneself. Now, here's the cool upside of this. Again, sextiles are considered to be better or nicer in astrology. Sometimes that can be a commitment, or that you're hearing from somebody that is like a tried and true person in your life. Now, Venus is actually in the astrological sign of Sagittarius right now. Venus moved into Sagittarius on Thursday, October 7th. And Sagittarius and Venus, that's one of the difficult Venus placements. I talk on here a lot about how Venus has certain signs that it's more or less comfortable in. Well, Venus in Sagittarius is about exploring and options and more exploring. It's almost like the Peter Pan of Venuses. And so it's not a real commitment-oriented Venus. We'll just say that, Sagittarius has a reputation for being like just free-spirited, and why bother with commitment? Why bother with making a plan? Oh my God, don't talk about marriage, Venus, so if you have Venus in Sagittarius already in your chart, you might feel like that more full-time. For the next month or so, we're all going to have a little bit of Venus in Sagittarius. So it's the time, Sagittarius season, if you think of Sagittarius season, which is pretty much Thanksgiving to like Christmas time, it's the party season, right? It's the time when we party. We go to people's houses. We have different dinners, and we have Thanksgiving, we have Friendsgiving, we have Hanukkah, we have Christmas, we have preparation for New Year, we have all these little holiday Kwanzaa's in there. I mean, we have all these little holiday things that come pretty much almost during Sagittarius season. And Sagittarius season for sure kicks off party season. So when you think about Venus being in Sagittarius, it's about having a good time and not being so serious. Now, when Venus aligns with Saturn again on this Wednesday, on the 13th, it can make it a little more serious. So basically we're talking about Brad Pitt, who's a Sagittarius, and Jennifer Aniston, who's an Aquarius, okay? Those two have a lot of fun together. Did they stay together? Did they stay committed? Or we're friends? We're more than friends? We're not sure. Those two always seem to have like rumors going around about them. That's basically like the flavor. It's like we're having fun. We can't, we're having a good time. Why ruin a good time with giving it rules and regulations? But that's exactly what Saturn wants to do on Wednesday. So it's a little that's why I say it's a little Debbie Downer, because Saturn's like the adult in the room going, hey everybody, are you having a little too much fun here? Maybe we need to like make a plan. So that's on Wednesday. Now good times keep rolling, because on Friday, on October 15th, the sun in Libra is going to be forming a trine, which is very positive, with Jupiter. Now it is said in astrology that the sun trine Jupiter is probably one of the most beneficial astrological transits there is out there. It's interesting because it's a trine, and that's positive, like I said. And then on Monday, on the 18th, Jupiter is going to be turning direct. So it's still technically retrograde on Friday, just to let you know. But they're two air signs. So the sun being in Libra, air sign, forming a trine with Jupiter, which is also in an air sign. So basically those two get together and it's good times roll. It can be definitely good for collaboration, for working with a team, working with a group of people. And I always say, really looking at your larger goals, your larger aspirations, like what do you want to do? What do you, and daydreaming the good daydream. Daydreaming the good daydream, okay, instead of having it be like the Saturn type of thing where it's like, well, what do we have to do to make a plan and figure out all the steps and this and that and the next thing. Jupiter's like, one day I want to travel the world, one day I want to do this and this. So that can be really quite fun with Jupiter. And I always say I'm not responsible for winnings or losings, but it is a fun time to buy a lottery ticket. So the sun trine Jupiter, that's the peak of that, by the way, is going to be 7:46 a.m. Eastern time, and that's going to be on Friday. Now, we have more Venus activity coming on Saturday. So just like I said, Venus formed a sextile with Saturn on Wednesday the 13th. On Saturday the 16th, Mercury retrograde is going to form a sextile with Venus also. So again, Libra, Mercury retrograde still in Libra, and then Venus is in the air sign as well. So, fire sign of Sagittarius. So we have the Libra and Sagittarius kind of activated right now, and that's going to be on Saturday. So we're going to be wanting to talk about love, think about love, writing about love. If you're a poet, okay, or a songwriter, this is going to be wonderful for you. You might want to just talk to your friends on the phone about my relationship and about love, and let's talk about love, and how about more talking about love. And that can be a lot of fun. That's going to be on Saturday the 16th. So but remember, Mercury's still retrograde, so sometimes that can bring exes back into the picture, okay? And X is an X for a reason, unless if we come up with some kind of a new plan. But that can be a time when we see people, not just exes, but we can see friends, we can see coworkers, we can see people that we running to the store, oh my god, I haven't seen you for 3 years, and that's really a lot of fun. The yucky point, or the sticking point, is on Sunday, Sunday the 17th, the sun is going to form a square with Pluto. That's not so good. So the sun basically still, like I said, is in Libra, and Pluto is in Capricorn, and they're forming a square with each other, okay, because they're both the leaders of the zodiac, okay? Libra is the leader of all of the air signs, and Capricorn is the leader of all of the earth signs. And so air and earth, when they get together, it's like a sandstorm. Air shapes earth, if there's a lot of wind, air can shape earth, but it's contentious a little bit, okay? So I say a little bit, but whenever the sun forms a square with Pluto, it can be heavy duty. That can be this coming weekend. We can hear about a rise in violence in the news, school shootings, mass. It seems like there's always a mass shooting whenever Pluto's involved, especially with a square with the sun. So unfortunately that can be a thing, and that's kind of the Debbie Downer of the weekend. And we could certainly feel it Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday's the peak, and then going into Monday. So we really want to watch ourselves, because we're gonna be so wanting to talk about our feelings, the love and the Mercury and the Venus thing, that it could get obsessive, it could get possessive, it could be, well, why are you talking about this, or why are you talking about this woman or this man, or who are you hanging out with? It can get with Pluto being involved, it can get dark and heavy real fast. Okay, so you want to make sure that, yeah, we want to talk about things, and Saturn, by the way, was in the background on Wednesday going, let's make a plan, let's commit, let's do this. But if the person's not ready, they're not ready. And you don't want to be pushing, okay? Pushing. This is not the time to push any kind of agenda with somebody, because this is a lot of backlash, and this can get into a lot of power struggles. Whenever Pluto's involved, there can be a lot of power struggles. And so on Monday, on the 18th, and I'm going to be hopefully talking to you again in this format on YouTube. That's the day that Mercury turns direct, on the 18th. That's coming at 11:17 a.m. Eastern time. So 7:17 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. And then also overnight from Saturday to Sunday, Jupiter's turning direct at 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. So really technically Sunday night if you're on the West Coast. So overnight we're going to be having these two planets. Now, whenever planets, I just went through all the dates, okay, that the planets are turning direct this month, and that's wonderful and that's great. However, whenever planets are turning direction, okay, they don't literally turn direction. Remember, it's an optical illusion with the orbit that we're seeing in the sky. That's what we call retrograde on this planet. But it doesn't matter. In astrology, they're kind of changing the direction and they're moving. It can feel a little wonky, because it's like all of a sudden you said this and this and this, and whoop, now it's changing direction. And it's like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? And so that can happen sometimes. I mean, people, that's why I always say don't start new things during Mercury retrograde, because boop, they can change. They can change again and change again. So it's something that you want to keep in mind when you're talking about these planets going direct. It's a good thing, yes, it totally is a good thing, but it can be weird when the gears shift, okay, and it's almost like we're changing direction, and ooh, it's a little discombobulating. So there's that. So, and then we're going to be going into the full moon next week, which we'll have to look forward to. But I'm going to be coming on, hopefully live again, just to just do this mini thing for you and give you an update. I can't sit too long. Like I said, my legs, but my feet right now are literally just throbbing. So I have to, pace myself. By the way, I do have a GoFundMe page set up. I can't work full time. It's really hard right now. So anything that, if these videos resonate with you and you want to contribute to my GoFundMe or also my Venmo page, please, I would appreciate that, because I can't work full time. It's too much. I literally can't sit this long. So I'm going to pull a quick card. And thank you, everybody. I am taking sessions still. Like I said, it's just part-time. And I really appreciate everybody's generosity that has donated already. And also I appreciate the offers and to do things for me. I mean, I'm an Aries, and I'm not used to like accepting help like this, and it feels good, but it also feels very humbling. So thank you. So I'm going to pull one card of what we need to know this week coming up in astrology. What do we need to know to deal with all of this stuff, the energy shifting and changing, Saturn turning direct on Sunday the 10th, Mercury turning direct on the 18th, as well as Jupiter on the 18th, and then this Saturn, Venus, Mercury, Pluto stuff. What do we need to know about all that for the week? What's the best thing that we need to know? One card, birth. Okay, this is Archangel Gabriel birth card. For new life, such as a baby, an idea, happy news, or exciting projects blossoms within or around you. Okay, and so birth means it's like definitely there's new things popping up. Like I said, Jupiter, this stuff is not necessarily bad. connotation of bad. The trying negative stuff comes with Pluto. Okay, but we could get downloaded this week with a really good new idea. Just remember it's retrograde still, so we don't want to start anything new, but we definitely might be downloaded with this new idea, a new concept, a new business, a new relationship, a new, maybe even literally baby. Okay, but we're not going to do anything about it just yet. Okay, we're going to wait until Mercury's no longer retrograde. So I hope that that helps everybody. And again, I'm sorry for my absence, but I hope you all understand. It's been a very, very, very trying and humbling period for me, and I appreciate all of your well wishes. And look, even if you can't financially like donate, just send me love and lots of positive energy, because this is going to be kind of a long healing time. I'm hoping not, knocking on wood, but there's going to be stuff I'm going to have to do, a lot of therapy and things like that. So physical therapy. So I hope that everybody is well, and you guys take care, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel.